Just minutes ago, the Gaither Vocal Band made an announcement that has gospel music fans everywhere saying it's about time. For 20 years, one man has been the secret weapon of gospel music's most legendary group, and today they're finally giving him the honor he's earned. This is breaking news that's sending ripples through the entire Christian music community. And if you've ever been moved by that soaring tenor voice on a Gaither Homecoming video, you need to hear what just happened. What they revealed will change how you see the Gaither Vocal Band forever. Because this isn't just about music. This is a story about loyalty, humility, and a voice that changed everything. I'm talking about Wes Hampton, and after 2 decades of dedication, the recognition he's receiving today will absolutely move you. Stay with me until the end, because what Bill Gaither said about Wes will give you chills. And the journey that led to this moment is something every person who values faithfulness and excellence needs to hear. But to understand why this announcement matters so much, you need to know the story that's been hiding in plain sight for 20 years. If you've ever watched a Gaither Homecoming video, you've heard him. That soaring tenor voice that gives you chills, that lifts the harmonies to another level, that makes you stop whatever you're doing and just listen. But Wes Hampton's story has been hiding in plain sight, and it's time the world truly understood who this man is. He's the name you know but maybe don't know enough about, and that's exactly how he's wanted it. Before joining gospel music royalty, Wes Hampton was already building a reputation as a vocalist with serious training and serious talent. His musical background and education prepared him for excellence, but nothing could fully prepare him for what was about to happen. When Bill Gaither started looking for a new tenor, he wasn't just looking for a voice. He was looking for someone who could carry that weight of a legacy, someone who understood that joining the Gaither Vocal Band meant joining something bigger than yourself. The audition that changed everything happened in a way that only God could orchestrate. Wes had the technical ability, but what caught Bill Gaither's attention was something deeper. It was the humility in how he approached the music, the servant's heart that came through in every note, the understanding that this wasn't about showcasing his talent, but about serving a message. Bill Gaither's first impression was that he'd found someone rare, someone who had the voice of an angel and the character of a warrior. July 2005 marked the day Wes Hampton joined gospel music royalty, and from that moment, he's never looked back. But here's the question that's been on everyone's mind. Why has it taken 20 years for this official recognition? The answer to that question tells you everything you need to know about Wes Hampton's character. To appreciate what this announcement means, you need to understand what joining the Gaither Vocal Band represents. This isn't just another singing group. This is gospel music's Mount Rushmore, founded by Bill Gaither himself, with a 40-year history spanning multiple lineup changes. Being chosen for this group is like being drafted to the NFL. The pressure of the tenor position is something few can understand. You're following in legendary footsteps, performing live with zero room for error night after night. Every performance means millions of expectations are resting on your shoulders, because this group broadcasts to audiences worldwide, performs at massive homecoming events, and sings for presidents and world leaders. What makes them different is they're not just a singing group, they're a ministry. You don't just join the Gaither Vocal Band and coast, you have to earn your place every single night. And for 20 years, that's exactly what Wes Hampton has done. Those first 4 years were about proving himself. By 2009, just 4 years in, Wes was already a Grammy winner for Love and Life. The gospel music world realized this wasn't just a guy filling a spot. Years 5 through 10 showed what essential really meant. Grammy nominations kept coming with Give It Away, and that's gospel, brother. GMA Dove Awards stacked up with albums like Greatly Blessed, Reunited, and Pure and Simple. The song Better Together became an anthem. By 2015, the Christmas collection hit #1 on Southern gospel charts, and Wes was building a solo career with albums like A Man Like Me and Out on a Limb. He wasn't just filling a spot anymore. He was the sound. The years from 2016 to 2020 cemented iconic moments. The album Better Together in 2016 hit #9 on CCM charts and #1 in Southern Gospel, defining the modern Gaither Vocal Band sound. But nothing could prepare Wes for 2018 and the Billy Graham Memorial Service, performing before U.S. presidents and millions watching worldwide. Countless Gaither Homecoming concerts and regular national TV broadcasts meant Wes Hampton's voice was in living rooms across America every single week. From 2021 to 2025, these years have been about legacy building. When the pandemic hit, Wes released Stubborn Hope in 2022, speaking directly into the darkness. By 2023, another Grammy nomination came for Shine, The Darker the Night, The Brighter the Light. 20 years of consistency, excellence, and faithfulness. No scandals, no ego, no drama. Just pure dedication. This brings us to the announcement that just happened. This summer of 2025, exactly 20 years since July 2005, the Gaither Vocal Band has made their official recognition public. Special tributes throughout the remainder of 2025. Exclusive video content chronicling these 2 decades, commemorative media features, and concert highlights dedicated to Wes. This isn't just saying thanks for showing up. They're declaring that Wes Hampton is their sound, that his contribution has been invaluable, that his character has been exemplary. Bill Gaither has spoken about Wes in terms that reveal deep respect and affection. It's not just the talent Bill recognizes, though the vocal ability is world-class. It's the character, the spiritual contribution, the way Wes has made everyone around him better. Wes's response has been characteristically humble, calling these 2 decades a journey of heart, harmony, and home. Recognizing that singing tenor with this ensemble under Bill Gaither's leadership has been an honor beyond words. The significance of this moment goes far beyond just marking an anniversary, and understanding why this matters requires looking at the loyalty factor that defines Wes's career. 20 years in one group is almost unheard of in the music industry. Most artists chase solo careers or jump from group to group looking for the next opportunity, the bigger platform, the better deal. Wes Hampton could have left 15 years ago and been a massive solo star. He had the voice, the recognition, the fan base, and the opportunities were certainly there. But he chose loyalty over spotlight. He chose commitment over convenience. In an industry driven by ego and ambition, where artists are constantly jockeying for position and recognition, Wes chose service. He understood that being part of something bigger than yourself means sometimes your individual glory takes a backseat to the collective mission, and he was completely okay with that. This kind of loyalty is increasingly rare in our culture, where commitment is seen as optional and jumping ship at the first sign of difficulty is normalized. The consistency Wes has demonstrated over 20 years is almost superhuman when you really think about it. 20 years with 0 scandals in an industry where privacy is nearly impossible and everyone has a camera. 20 years of showing up for performances, always prepared, always professional, with a work ethic that sets the standard for everyone else. You can set your watch by Wes Hampton's excellence, and that reliability matters more than most people realize. In a world of flash-in-the-pan success stories and viral moments that fade as quickly as they appear, Wes has been a constant, steady presence that fans can depend on. But perhaps most importantly, what defines Wes Hampton's 20-year journey is his choice of ministry over fame. He could have easily chased mainstream success. With his voice and his look, crossover opportunities would have been abundant. But he chose gospel music's smaller spotlight intentionally, understanding that impact isn't measured in Billboard chart positions or mainstream media coverage. The impact that matters is measured in changed lives, in people who found hope through a song, in souls that were touched by a message. Every night, Wes sings to point people to Jesus, not to himself, and that fundamental orientation shapes everything else about his career. Wes has never demanded attention. He's let his voice do the talking while supporting others' solo moments with the same enthusiasm he brings to his own. He's the guy who makes everyone else sound better, more concerned with the blend than being heard above it. Beyond the stage, he's become known for his cookbooks, his love of hospitality, his role as a family man. This combination of remarkable talent and genuine humility creates something magnetic. The consistency over 20 years is almost superhuman. 20 years with 0 scandals, always showing up, always prepared, always professional. You can set your watch by Wes Hampton's excellence. But most importantly, what defines his journey is choosing ministry over fame. He could have chased mainstream success, but he chose gospel music's smaller spotlight intentionally. Every night, Wes sings to point people to Jesus, not to himself. When you talk to fans about their favorite Wes Hampton moments, the memories that surface reveal the depth of his impact. The performances of Better Together have become legendary, with Wes's tenor soaring over the blend in a way that defines the modern Gaither Vocal Band sound. Those moments when the harmony locks in perfectly and you can feel it in your chest, when his voice seems to lift the entire room higher. Those are the moments fans remember. The Christmas concerts have become annual traditions for many families, with Wes's renditions of classic hymns bringing warmth and joy to holiday seasons. There's something about the way he approaches Christmas music that feels both reverent and celebratory, honoring the tradition while making it fresh. The Gaither Homecoming specials have given fans countless moments with gospel legends, duets, and special arrangements that showcase Wes's versatility and his ability to hold his own with any vocalist. And then there are those performances where he hits that note, that one note that seems to hang in the air and makes the entire crowd lose their minds, because it's so pure and powerful and unexpected. The Billy Graham Memorial remains a pinnacle moment, representing gospel music on the world stage in a way that honored both the past and the future. Beyond the stage, Wes Hampton is a complete artist with a solo career that showcases his full range of ability. His 4 albums tell their own story of artistic growth and spiritual depth. A Man Like Me in 2011 introduced fans to solo Wes, giving them a chance to hear his voice feature more prominently and explore material that might not fit the group context. Out on a Limb in 2014 showed his willingness to take creative risks, to push boundaries while staying true to his gospel roots. Wes Hampton Hymns in 2019 was a love letter to the traditional music that shaped him, honoring the past while bringing his own interpretation. And Stubborn Hope in 2022 was ministry perfectly timed for a work in crisis, offering exactly what people needed when they needed it most. He's not just the Gaither Vocal Band tenor. He's a complete artist who happens to have found his primary home in the group context. The cookbook author side of Wes might surprise people who only know him from his music, but it reveals something important about his character. He's combined music and hospitality in a way that shows his heart for bringing people together. The fact that the man can cook and sing raises the question of what he can't do, but more importantly, it shows that he sees ministry happening around tables as much as on stages. Food and fellowship have always been part of the gospel tradition, and Wes has embraced that fully. As a family man, he's balanced 20 years of touring with raising a family, managing the sacrifice that most fans never see. Being on the road constantly, while maintaining relationships at home, requires a level of commitment and character that many people simply don't have. The relationships within the group, his reputation as a friend and mentor to younger artists, all point to someone who understands that success without relationships is ultimately empty. Ask anyone in gospel music about Wes Hampton, and you'll hear the same thing over and over. He's the real deal. The 2025 celebration tour means that special tributes will be happening at every remaining concert this year, giving fans multiple opportunities to be part of this historic recognition. The exclusive video content that's rolling out will include behind-the-scenes footage from 20 years that fans have never seen before, interviews with Bill Gaither about Wes that will reveal the depth of their relationship, and fellow group members sharing stories that have never been public. This isn't just one night of celebration. This is a year-long honor that recognizes the magnitude of what Wes has accomplished. The commemorative features across various media platforms will ensure that this story reaches beyond just the core fan base to the broader Christian music community and beyond. The legacy being built through this recognition isn't just about Wes Hampton. It's about setting a standard for future Gaither Vocal Band members, showing what dedication looks like over the long haul, writing a blueprint for gospel music longevity that future artists can follow. Looking beyond 2025, questions naturally arise about whether Wes will do another 20 years, what his ongoing solo projects might look like, and what impact is still to come. If the past is any indication, the best may still be ahead, because Wes Hampton, at the peak of his powers, with 2 decades of experience, is a formidable force in gospel music. The bigger picture of Wes Hampton's story contains universal lessons that extend far beyond the gospel music world. The first lesson is about faithfulness over fame, about choosing depth over virality in a world obsessed with quick success and instant recognition. Wes chose to go deep, committing to 20 years of showing up even when cameras weren't rolling, understanding that character is built in the unseen moments far more than in the public ones. The second lesson is about excellence without ego, about being one of gospel music's best voices, but never needing to say it yourself. He's let his work speak, served the song rather than himself, and demonstrated that true greatness doesn't require constant self-promotion. The third lesson is about the power of commitment, and when you really stop and think about it, imagine committing to anything for 20 years with the level of excellence and consistency that Wes has shown. No shortcuts, no quitting when things got hard, no looking for the exit when a better opportunity appeared. This is what it looks like to finish what you start, to see something through not just when it's exciting and new, but when it becomes routine and requires discipline. The fourth lesson is about choosing ministry over stardom, about understanding that he could have been mainstream famous, but choosing impact over income, influence over image. Every night, Wes sings for an audience of one and happens to bless thousands in the process. But that orientation toward the divine rather than the crowd makes all the difference. Wes Hampton's 20 years proves that the greatest legacy isn't built in moments, it's built in decades of faithfulness, in choosing the right thing over and over again when nobody's watching, in valuing character as much as talent, in understanding that true success is measured by impact rather than accolades. After 20 years, Wes Hampton is finally getting his flowers, and he deserves every single one. The honor may seem overdue, but the timing is actually perfect because Wes's own humility required this much time. He would never have sought this recognition himself, would never have demanded a celebration, would never have made it about him. That's precisely why this moment is so powerful and so deserved. Good things truly do come to those who serve, and Wes Hampton has served faithfully for 2 decades. Fans who want to be part of this historic celebration have several opportunities to do so. Attending the 2025 celebration concerts means being present for these special tributes in person, experiencing the emotion and energy that can only happen in a live setting. Watching for the exclusive content releases means staying connected to the story as it unfolds throughout the year. But perhaps most importantly, sharing your favorite Wes Hampton moment means adding your voice to the chorus of appreciation, letting him know how his music has impacted your life. Streaming his solo albums supports his ongoing ministry and helps spread his music to new listeners who might need to hear it. If you've been blessed by Wes Hampton's voice over these 20 years, now is the time to let him know, to be part of this celebration, to honor a man who has given us 2 decades of excellence without ever asking for recognition in return. 20 years ago, Wes Hampton joined the Gaither Vocal Band, and gospel music changed forever, though at the time, nobody could have predicted just how significant that moment would become. Today we celebrate not just an anniversary, but a life lived in service to something greater, a career built on faithfulness rather than fame, a legacy that will inspire generations to come. Hit that like button if you think this recognition is long overdue, and that Wes Hampton deserves every bit of honor he's receiving. Subscribe to this channel for ongoing updates about the 2025 celebration and future content about gospel music's most impactful artists. Drop a comment sharing your favorite Wes Hampton song or performance, because those stories matter, and they're part of the larger testimony of his impact. Share this video to honor a man who has given us 20 years of excellence, who has shown us what faithfulness looks like, who has pointed countless people to Jesus through the gift of his voice. The story of Wes Hampton isn't over. In many ways, it's just reaching its most significant chapter. And we're privileged to witness this moment of well-deserved recognition for one of gospel music's true giants.